It's that time of year over here in Michigan, so snow blowers, got to fix those things. None of these have run in 7-ish years, something like that. There's another generator that I have to go pick up. Just didn't grab it. The two Aaron snow blowers, these don't run, and a walk behind trimmer. Sorry for the light. It's dark outside at 5:45 in the evening. So anyways, we're going to get this stuff into there. I got to make some room, and we have to try to get all of this stuff running and one more generator. So that's the project. We're going to get them going. All right, well, here it all is. Now the generator here, we'll try that first. But these tires, a little bit lopsided. I don't know if you can see that, but they're like totally flat. So we're gonna give them a little bit of love. Hey, there we go. Hey, how about that? Great. Let's take a look in here, see what the gas situation looks like. And it feels like it's totally full. And it is totally full. It actually smells good. Let's go ahead and check the oil down here. See how she's looking. It's in there, but it's a little bit low. Yeah, it's kind of dirty. Could use an oil change for sure. But should be good enough. Well, I guess one super not terrible thing to do first would be to check the fuel in this tank. Well, I thought I shut the fuel off. Well, that's dumb. Look at this. Up and down is off, and then to the side is... Yuck. Look at that crap. Gross. Stuff is nasty. A lot of water in there. Customer said that all of this stuff had been winterized before it was put away. Obviously, that's not true. This fuel is friggin' gross. So obviously I'll have to drain it all out. Total bummer. It's not even just like water and gas. It's like a weird, looks like gravy or something. What do you think? You think this junk will even burn? Oh, I guess it does. Wow. A lot more potent. It is a lot more potent than I thought. Oh, that water burning out of it. I really had no idea that it was going to burn that violently. Whew. Well, that kind of blows. That gas is pretty good. It's just filled with water. Maybe we can separate it. Don't know. Maybe we'll try. I don't know. All right, we're going to try an experiment. I don't know what kind of gas is in this thing, and I took it down a lot of dirt roads to get it home, so whatever fuel was in it is totally mixed with the water now. So I'm going to let it try to separate. I'm going to drain the water out of the bottom of the tank tomorrow if it's separated that much. But, you know, it can kind of go either way. Now, if they used like non-ethanol based fuel in here, we should be good to go. But if they used an ethanol based fuel in this, water will attach itself to the ethanol. Ethanol is hydrophilic, so it loves water and it wants to go to water. That's how you can make ethanol-free fuel out of ethanol-based gas. You add water to it, you can see it separate, you can drain the water off, and there you go, ethanol-free gas. But that process reduces the octane rating of the gas that's in it, so you'd have to add an octane booster. That's why, you know, nobody's just making all this ethanol-free fuel. You still have to add an octane booster to it after you remove the ethanol. So we're giving it a shot and see. That fire was pretty volatile, so I think whatever fuel is in it is pretty good. So, you know, we're going to give it a shot and see. So it gives me a chance to go in and get warm for the night. I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Out here another day. I'll let it sit and see what the fuel looks like now. Kind of looks like cheap orange juice. There's some of the water. I wonder if all this up here, this yellow stuff, is all emulsified, like water in there, and it needs to separate more. I mean, I gave it a whole day, but check that out. Definitely. I'll ask old Mortske. He seems to know everything about this stuff. I'm sure he'll have an answer. So you can see there's even water in this stuff. This has a pretty cool effect. Like one of those wave machines from the 70s or 80s or whatever they were. But looks like we've kind of gotten through some of the junk in the trunk. This stuff's coming out all right. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled off that shroud to get to this carb. This little float bowl here doesn't have a drain on it. So I'm going to have to pull it off real quick. And we'll see what that looks like. Probably bad. There we go. Well, there's actually gas in it. Yeah, there's definitely some water in it. See it? Globs of it floating around. Doesn't look great. I'm going to clean that up. Let's see what it looks like in the carb. Well, I mean, it's not much to see right here. Right off the bat, it is all plastic though. So I'm going to clean this thing up, reinstall it, and put some fuel in it. Looks kind of gross. Alrighty, there we go. Looks pretty good. Alright, so Sir Mordicus did confirm this is ethanol stuff. And that's just what it looks like. Anyway. So there we go. I like to use brake cleaner and just one of these like soft plastic bristle brushes for most of this stuff because you don't scratch it up. So a lot of times you'll see just tons of scratch marks in the bottom of these bowls from people using screwdrivers and stuff on them. Just try to avoid that whenever possible. It's got another oil drain or fill or whatever it is there. Maybe that's for the generator unit? I don't know. Who knows? Two different fill ports. Weird. Anyway, I'm going to put this on. Let's check one more time. Make sure we've got it all out of the tank. This dumb valve. Have you ever seen those valves like that? Usually this is off, you know? So I guess, I don't know, who knows? I've always seen it where it's the angle of the flow. It's coming out, going into the carb. That means it's running through. But I guess it's coming out of the carburetor or coming out of the tank and going down the line. It's like that. Who knows? It's just a weird thing. Kind of counterintuitive. I'm going to pour just a tad bit of fuel into this tank. Just to flush it out. There we go. It's nice and clean now. All right. Let's put it back together. See if we can get it fire up. Make sure we got some fuel flow. Yep. We are good. All right, let's give it a shot. And there we go. If I could have gotten this thing off, it would have been easier. Well, probably not a whole lot to this thing. Well, there was fuel in the bowl. So, well, there we go. Check that out. All right. Try to remove this thing without ruining it. There we go. Look at that damn thing. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna use brass brush. I really don't want to break this thing. So apparently that spring pushes the needle down and holds it against the body of the carb. It's kind of weird the way that they got this thing set up. That one main jet being totally stopped up. Big deal. There we go. Everything's back on, looking good. All right, she should work. See if she runs. Gross. All right, clean this thing up. Thing sucks. Yeah. Anyway, all right, we're gonna move on to this thing. I've already sniffed the fuel in it. Doesn't smell completely rancid. Might be able to see. Doesn't look terrible. Pretty clean in there. So we're just gonna try it out and see. If you've never seen how these electric starts work with no battery, you're in for a treat. It's kind of weird. You give it a little prime. Right? Choke is on. That's the key in. Hopefully we'll see if it starts. Hopefully this one does. So the way that these electric start snow blowers work is just plug them in. There you go. Ooh, gross. The carb feels nasty. Yuck. Man, I hope this isn't another friggin' screwed up carb. Alright, well, looks like we're going into the carb again. Alright, well, on some snow blowers, you got this big shroud, and everything is underneath of it, which really blows. So, this speed lever apparently just adjusts the governor. So this is the governor arm back in there. It's got like little flyweights on there. When it overspeeds, it pulls the throttle down. Or chokes it, or whatever it does. This thing is... I mean, I gotta take all this crap off. So, yeah. Guess I better get to it. Oh, at least we can drain this out. We'll take that out real quick and see how gross it looks in there. So, customer states every year before they put this thing away, or any of these machines, the gas was shut off and they were left to run until they ran all the gas out. What do you think? Think that's true? You think that they ran it out of gas? Me no think so. Well, first off, let's even see if this junk is flammable. I don't think this stuff is going to be... Yes, it is. Well, damn. I figured that the crazy orange color was enough. It was a giveaway. I don't think that governor's working at all. Let's WD-40 that thing before we send the rods out of the side of this. Where did I put that? Governor isn't working. Alright, I got me a couple of plugs and a fuel filter for this old generator here. And then right here, you know, the governor is stuck on that, I believe, or the governor itself might not be stuck, but there's an arm that goes up inside of this housing that comes over. That part might just be stuck, so the carburetor was pretty gummy on it. So we have to take this big shield off here and the cage around the muffler, all that stuff. But there's no room down here. It's like 13 inches to the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up in here a little bit. And over here, I've got my motorcycle lift. buried in the corner. I'm going to get this thing out. Look at everything's falling down and everything. So much wasted room. So I need to get this thing out so I'm not killing my back and knees. That's the plan. Check out the water in this fuel. It looks super cool. Look at that. Pretty neat though. I thought it was cool. Most of this stuff is cleared up. I should be able to decant some of the fuel. More water in the bottom. Hey, there we go. What do you think of that? Right? Better, huh? Man, got a little bit more room over there now. I've got to do something with this place. Wintertime is when that's going to happen, but not now. I did say that this thing had to be done first, but it's been nonstop raining here and below freezing, so she's not going to be using that right this minute. So this is what we're doing. We're going to take this shield off and get in here and try to lubricate a lot of this stuff. Here's the governor arm, goes up to this. Well, I guess the governor isn't sticking. Unless what I sprayed up in there yesterday helped. Yeah, because I couldn't move that yesterday at all. So I guess the little bit of lube I gave it helped out. Yeah, so whatever I did yesterday, spraying that WD-40 up in here was a huge deal. Right now this spring is just kind of free floating. Whenever you pull it back, it catches on that, puts more tension on that spring. You can see it open up back there. So there's the governor. So now you've got full RPM. So I guess that just keeps the governor tension higher right before it shuts off. So that's obviously off. You're on this lower spring here. It's got this eyelet on it right there. This top spring has a little eyelet on it, which then this spring hooks to, or this little rod, which kind of, I guess, holds that or preloads it. And then as you want full throttle, there you go. So this doesn't do anything until, I guess it keeps the speed down. Not sure. We're going to see though. I've never seen one like this. Usually they have an actual throttle cable that opens and closes these blades. But now this is nice and free. So let's give it a shot. See if it's better today than it was yesterday. Maybe that little bit of lube is all I needed. Put the key in it. Already plugged it in. Let's see what else. It's off. All right, so I mean it runs. It doesn't run great. I think some running, heat cycling it, fresh gas, all that stuff through the carburetor. It'll come around. It's already running better than it was. So I'm going to spray everything down with some fluid film just to kind of keep all the moving parts moving so it doesn't corrode up on her. And then we'll, just run it for a bit. I think some fresh gas running through it for a little while, probably be okay. So I'm going to put all this stuff on, and we should be good with this one. This one, got it up here. Quite a bit different of a system. Basically it's the same, but engine's totally different. Exhaust is different. Different primer bulb, or different style where it's located. Guess this is a choke position. But anywho, yeah, so it looks like here's the throttle on this one. Kind of gummy. And then the fuel looks like that's on and that's off. So the fuel was left on this one too. Great. All right. Well, let's look inside here. I think I did look in here, and this one is like bone dry except for sludge. Yeah, not looking great in there. Pretty nasty. But at least it's not full of gas that I got to get rid of. So, just looking at it, not entirely sure what the best way to get this tank off. Everything's enclosed on these, which is good and bad. And it looks nice and clean. But, it's going to make it tough to get to the fuel lines on it. See how the oil looks. Good. I mean, it's good enough. It's got oil in it. Looks okay. I mean, snow blowers around here, they don't really get tons and tons of use. I mean, you use them, when you need them, but typically you're not like, it's not like a car. You're out there putting 1,000 miles a week on it or whatever it is. So, anywho, I figured out how to get to the fuel lines on this thing, and we'll come on back. All right, this thing's like 1,000% worse to work on. Those bolts right there, basically corroded right into place. Trying to get the tank off. Tank is still being held on by something over there, which I can't really get to right now. So, yeah, anyway, most of these things are kind of stuck. Someone's been in here before. I don't know. Yeah, you can see right there. Rounded off. One of them is. Anyway, one of them was kind of stripped out. So you can see the corrosion that we get around here. See how everything is basically just covered in crap. That's just it. This is actually in pretty good shape for what it is. It gets a lot worse, but that's it. So all this white, corrosion that you see there. Yeah, we get a ton of that. So that's what's holding these things on. Right over there. So I'm going to keep cracking away on this stuff and hopefully not break anything off. Yeah, and then I don't want to film this stuff because it's, it sucks to watch. I mean, it's really boring. There we go. We got something going on. What's that? Spark arrestor. Got like a little screen. I don't know if that's like a little backfire spark arrestor or if that's just keep chunks of snow out. Whatever it is. Interesting. All right, so we're in. It's going to probably start raining here in just a second, so you'll probably hear that. This gas is gross smelling, though. Yeah, this gas is pretty rough. This one's got the governor set up underneath here. By the looks of things, it's going to be hard for you to see. Well, I guess that one's going to come right off. So there we go. What's the deal with this? Green? Weird. Stuff in the tank was orange. Look at that. It's pretty bizarre. I wonder if that's fuel treatment or something. I don't know. We're going to see. Hey, not too bad. Look at that. There we go. It's got like a... whatever this green stuff is left like a rubberized film feeling all over it. It's kind of weird. Have to hit it with some brake clean. Yeah, check it out. Came right out. Some type of weird green slime stuff. I guess we'll go rinse this crap out. Alright, let's see what we get out of this piece of crap. Yeah, it's pretty gross, eh? There we go. That's the fuel that was in it. Kind of interesting stuff. The primer bulb just pressurizes the float bowl. So that tube just comes down there and adds a little bit of pressure into the bowl. And I guess squirts it up. Yeah, it looks kind of grody. Yeah, so I think we should take this thing off, but that's a job for tomorrow. It was like 58 degrees tonight. It's going to be 40 tomorrow. So I was hoping to get as much done as I could. Still some weird fuel in there. Well, got the carb off. I'll turn this heater off in just a minute once it warms up. It sucks just like the other one. Totally gummed up. I actually already cleaned this one, but I'll take you on a tour. This is a Mig Tip Cleaning Kit. You can use these to clean out this stuff, right? So this is the smallest one, and this is an ultra tiny emulsion tube. There you go. You can see that this tiny wire goes right through there. So it'll do that with all of them. So one of these little Mig cleaning kits, tip cleaners, works great for cleaning out passages in your carburetor. The rest of the carb wasn't super terrible. The float and stuff, and the needle is kind of gross, but I'll clean that up. Picked up some actual carb cleaner so I wouldn't destroy everything. And beyond that, I don't have an ultrasonic cleaner or anything, but I did clean it the best that I could. I still got a little bit of work to do in here. I don't know what that stuff is. I mean, it's like an insert, but it's super corroded and nothing cleans that. So I'm doing the best that I can. Anyway, work on it a little bit more and we'll slam it back together. There's really nothing to it. Put this thing in here and then, you know, put the float on. That's it. There's nothing to this carburetor. I've already hooked everything up. There really wasn't anything to do except put in that emulsion tube and put the float bowl on. Hook up those little cables. Most of the time it's just cheaper to replace the whole carburetor on these things. I think a replacement carb I got from my other one was like $18. You know, I don't even know how they can produce them for that much. Guess what? I forgot to put the damn emulsion tube in it. All right, it's all back together. plugged in. Should be ready to roll. I didn't put the throttle knob on it yet. This thing's pretty tough to get off. I don't want to break it. Guess let's prime it up. Doesn't sound like it's doing anything. Turn the gas on. Doesn't sound great. We've got a leak. We have to address the leak. Actually, I don't think we're getting any fuel in it. Key got turned off. So maybe I hit it, maybe I shut it off, I'm not sure. Key was turned off. That's still weird. Anyway, maybe we can get it going now. Right. I mean, it runs good, so I don't think the plug is bad. I have to take this thing back apart and have a good look at it again. Alright, so there's the offender. That port, that, you know, little primer bulb, that's the hole for it. It goes straight through. There's nothing there. Yeah, the carb wasn't leaking, so, I mean, I'm not exactly sure. This is like a oxidized brass. That black O-ring there, it's metal. The seat is down inside of there. There's nothing else to it. So it's not even like I can lose parts. There's no jets, there's no screws, nothing. Let me put this thing back in. There's nothing we can do with it. All right, I think we got it. So that right there is the emulsion tube that sticks up. Tube goes in here, pressurizes this bowl, and it's supposed to, I think, come out of there, come out of here, whatever it is. We got it working. It just doesn't sound like the other ones. There you go. See a little bit? So, I mean, there's an open port inside of here. There's an orifice behind this, kind of goes down, so you can't actually pressurize it. There's always going to be air escaping. Anyway, we got this thing fixed up, and it should work. Sometimes you can totally close off the port there, create a ton of vacuum, and if there's any crap in it, it'll suck it through, but I don't see a problem with any of that because there's everything cleaned out. Gonna make me eat my words? Look at that. I mean, I've done this before, but I've never had such extreme results where it like what wouldn't run, now it runs. But if there's like a little piece of junk somewhere in one of these passages, when you get it running and you totally block off all of the air so it can't suck anything in, it'll just pull stuff right through the carburetor. And if there's any like little tiny blockages, it'll suck those right on out. So there you go. Perfect example of it right there. I've done it on cars before. Never really done it on a little small engine like this, but apparently works fine. We got an idle out of it. Huzzah! Nice. Can't believe that that thing works so good. That little vacuum trick. So that's the snow blowers. Next thing, we got to fix this generator. So the plugs are here. If I put that in, hopefully that thing works. That carburetor was pretty bad, so it might need a carb. But I also said that about that and then did the whole vacuum trick. Fixed her right up. We'll see. Ah, what the hell? It can't hurt, right? I'm gonna let them cool down. Then I'll heat cycle them again tomorrow. Now that I've got some room, we're back on this generator here. And then off to that one. Talked to her today, and this isn't a priority anymore because the weather has changed. So anyway, figure this one out. I'm gonna drag it up onto there so it's a little nicer to work on. The direct replacement for the RC12YC is the NGK C6. Low oil pressure cutoff switch. That's what it was. I could have sworn that that thing had enough oil in it. I felt down in there. Apparently not. So I did get it to run better. Whenever I did rebuild the carb again, I adjusted the transfer slot. It's fired up and it was running for a second and then it would cut off. And then the longer I let it sit, the easier it would be to start. So it's like the only thing it can be is that oil pressure sensor, the oil pressure cutoff switch. And I've seen them a lot on these that go bad, and you know, it won't run at all. So you can bypass that switch if the switch fails, which is pretty common. So I don't know. It must be sensitive or whatever. It just wasn't full enough. I put basically a quart in it. Fired right up. So there you go. We're gonna let this thing run for a bit. It is super smoky in here. I'm not sure if you can see, but I'm about to die from carbon monoxide poisoning or something. So I'm gonna let it just kind of, I don't know. This thing I think I'm just gonna let sit for a bit, start it up, let it air out in here. There we go, one more down. I'm glad that that one's solved and out of our hair. So the next one's just a string trimmer, not really a priority right now. And then this one right here, this other generator, but I think this one will be easy because, you know, there's no fuel in the tank. The gas is shut off to it. So hopefully everything's good on that. And definitely I'm going to check the oil on that thing first off and make sure it's good. So I'll get cracking on that tomorrow. I'm not going to make 2 videos out of this thing. It might be a long video, but you know, it's basically the same stuff over and over again. And I do want to get cracking on that truck. So anyway, hope you like long videos. Everybody says they want to see them. Well, now's your chance to see them. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, well, I'm not sure if you could tell a quality difference or if there is one, but my camera died, which is a phone, but this is like my phone. So we're going to use this for a bit. I don't know. The newer one is nicer. So let me know. Anywho, let's look at this tank. So if you look down inside of there, it is like seriously bone dry. Like there is not a molecule of gas like in that thing. So it's either good or bad. One, she said, I talked to the customer. She said, when in doubt, some of these were her dad's apparently, and then he passed, whatever. So some of them are hers. I think this is hers. She said when she was like, she didn't know, she just let it run overnight or whatever until it was like out of gas and through. So this one must be hers. Hopefully she just ran it totally out of gas and, you know, that's it. Because otherwise it'd be kind of probably chasing a fuel leak or something like that. Anyway, let's see what happens when we just fill up with some gas. All right, so for whatever reason, this phone doesn't play well with that microphone that I use on the other phone. It just won't work on this one. So that's why I use the other one, and that's why the audio might be different. So this right here is the low oil pressure sensing unit right there. It's obviously working on the other one. We'll see if it's working on this one. I guess I should check the oil. Didn't I say I was going to check it? All right, you can see it's like right up there. So this one definitely should not have any of the oil issues that the other one did. I could have sworn the other one looked just like that too, but apparently I was wrong. All right, well that is awesome. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put the good stuff in this one right off the bat. because I don't think she's gonna be using it for a while. I have no idea if this is gonna start or not. I don't think there was a choke on it. It's all automatic, right? Pretty awesome. Starting Start it up quick. So there it is, everybody. 5 machines fixed and returned to service. So customer will be super happy. You know, everything's good with them. I might try to buy one of those snow blowers off of her if she's willing to sell one, because mine's old and ragged out. So that'd be nice to get an upgrade on that. So if you've stayed this long, I really appreciate it, and thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you like watching these longer videos. Some folks say that they really like watching them, and other people say that they don't. So, you know, I've always tried to keep my videos like right under 30 minutes, something like that. Let me know what you want to see, and we'll try to make that happen. You know, try to keep you all happy. So, yeah, that, and if you want to keep up on the projects kind of more in detail, follow me over on Instagram, Half-Ass Garage over there. I'd appreciate the follow. Beyond that, take it easy. Can't wait to start working on the Dodge. That should be coming soon as I clean this mess up. So have a good one. I'm going to take a shower. I smell like gas. So see ya.